Welcome back. Alright, so you should already know about new. So if you check out part one, it'll bring you up to speed. Alright. Um now now you know about new. Let's look up covenant. Covenant is a noun, it's not an adjective, it's a noun. New and old describes covenant. We're gonna look at covenant. Alright. It's an English word, right? Basically, English people is trying to convey to you that is talking about an agreement, right? In some Bibles, it won't say covenant; it'll say promise, right? So promise is like an oath. It's like an oath in a way. You know what I'm saying? You know how people say never break your promise or always keep your promises. You know, because they matter. Because people don't like broken promises, right? Yeah, it all makes sense. But look at it. It all traces back. Even in Latin, it means come together, unite, be suitable, agree. You know, the first part of it, you know, come together. You know, when you look at this word, come, when you break it down, covenant, and the word veneer means to come. See, come. It's an element. The beginning part of the word. You know, the prefix means with, together. You see? Or co. You see? Like in the word covenant, co. You see? See, taken. See, this Latin was taken into English around from the 17th century as living prefix. See? Meaning together. See? Mutually in common. You know, mutually in common. You know, you're dealing with vowel sounds. You see the related words down here? You see? Now let's go back. Let's go back. Right? It links up to the same word, covenant. See? Even speak about the covenant according to the scriptures. See, applied, this word in English has been applied in scripture to Yahuwah, you know, the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the God of Adam, the God of Yahshua, the Messiah, right? Arrangement with man as a translation of the Latin and the Greek, and also the rendering of the Hebrew words. You see what I'm saying? So every time you see covenant, it's referring to these words. You see what I'm saying? Also, the scholars want to let you know this. Though Testament also is used for the same word in different places. You see? So some Bibles might say Testament. So don't be confused when people say there is no Old Testament, there is no New Testament. These are modern day words that you have to be familiar with when you in the English paradigm, you in the English matrix, so to speak. You're dealing with English speaking people who read English, people who speak and write English. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand their language. you know. So yeah, check out the Hebrew, check out the Greek, and check out the Latin, you know, and bring it out properly into the English or to whatever language that you speak, right? Just if you don't have these things, you know, pray to the Most High Father in the name of Yahshua the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? The Prince of Peace. And see, and patiently wait for the spiritual gifts. You know, Apostle Paul talks about the spiritual gifts. So, and two of those spiritual gifts is language and the interpreting and the interpretation of the language. It's good to have both. It's good to have both. All right. Now that you know about covenant, now let's look into the scriptures. Let's look into the scriptures, because when you look up Old Covenant next to each other, all Bibles won't say that. Some would say the promise. Some would say the covenant. Can understand that when you're dealing with Jeremiah, the 31st chapter, that's like the only place where you're gonna find Old Covenant next to each other. It's talking about when it say the covenant, it's talking about the Old Covenant, like in this Bible version called the Net Bible. That's like probably the only Bible version that has old next to the word covenant. You see, just to help convey to you that it's talking about the past covenant. So when you read this verse, it's dealing with the children of Israel who dealt with Moses. You know what I'm saying? So Jeremiah the prophet is a part of these people. He's not a stranger. He's not a Gentile. He's an Israelite, you know. And the Most High conveyed a lot of things to him to tell the children of Israel, to tell his people. Same thing like Moses did, you see. So when you go back, by the way, Jeremiah 31:31 is the only place where you'll find in the New Testament with the word new, and covenant next to each other. So all you got to do is just type in Old Covenant and type in and click this icon right here, OT, and you see Old Covenant. Now there's other places in the Old Testament where you will find the word old and covenant in like the same sentence, but you can't find it. You won't find it next to each other. Like you'll find the covenant, but you won't find Old Covenant next to each other. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay attention to the English matrix. You know, you got to be aware. You guys to be aware. All right. It's gonna be a 10-minute video, so there will be a part 3. So let's see if the New Testament will have the exact words Old Covenant next to each other or in the same sentence. Let's see if it exists. Okay. See, Old Covenant is next to each other in the New Testament. And 2 Corinthians 3:14. Alright. And then you see it's included in Hebrews 10 and 11. So you probably want to write this down, pause this video, you know, write down some things. And this what people need to understand, this right here. Now this what you gotta understand, especially the Hebrew Israelite camps who say that we still under the Old Covenant.